Hey, and welcome to week 7 of your RaFFLe fantasy football season. I'm your host, Chris Redaway, and I'm going to bring you my insights and what I know about the game to you this week as we sit here and talk about fantasy football matchups and things like that. So I was looking through the standings, and a few things came to me as I went through those standings. One was, wow, there's a lot of tight races. My division, for example, I'm pretty sure everybody is still in the race. The Crazy Frogs are in the quote-unquote driver's seat for one of the playoff spots because based on points, not based on records, certainly not, but based on points. And then you look at the other division, and wow, they've got everyone's in it really except for the Jerk Store, and it's fantastic. And it reminds me of the time a friend of mine told me the story about when he bought a new motorcycle. And loved this motorcycle. Found it online, he'd done a lot of research, found someone who's selling it locally, goes and checks it out. This thing is in pristine, and I mean pristine condition. And so he says to the guy, man, the bike's 5-10 years old, right? I mean, how have you been keeping this, so in such good shape? And the guy gives him a wry little smile, as people who sell things online do, and pulls out a tube of Vaseline, a little small tube of Vaseline. He goes, every time that I think it might rain, I pull this tube out and go out to the chrome and put some Vaseline on there, and it keeps the water from settling in. Oh, the guy, this is a great idea. Thanks for the tip. And he goes, you know what? Here, as a matter of fact, blink, and throws in the little tube. He goes, I have no need for this anymore. He goes, that's freaking fantastic. I really appreciate you. You're the nicest guy I've met since like Thursday of last week. So he then gets on said chopper and rides over to meet his girlfriend. I remember the girlfriend was really, she was something to see. She was hot. She was what you'd call a hot commodity, or a tamale, or Mexican. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But anyway, he rides over. That's not important to the story. So he rides over, and the girls get a little bit of a bike enthusiast. She's like, oh man, that's great. My dad is a huge, huge bike enthusiast. So we should ride the bike over since we're having dinner with my folks tonight. And the guy goes, oh yeah, I'm supposed to meet your folks tonight for the first time at dinner, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's going to be fun, it's going to be fun. So my buddy and his girlfriend, the hot tamale Mexican, they jump on the chopper, they ride over to her house, and the dad comes out and is checking out the bike, and it's like, wow, this is fantastic, I love this bike. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man, I got a pretty good deal, yada yada, it looks in great shape. Oh man, pretty good shape, man. All that stuff that guys talk about choppers and whatnot. So anyway, not important story. So anyway, they're about to head into the house. The mom and dad head in. Now the girlfriend turns around and she's got this wild-eyed stare, right? And she looks at the boyfriend, my friend, and says, hey, one thing I have got to tell you. We have a little idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy? We have this strange thing about dinner at our place where we don't talk during dinner. Nobody says a word. So he's like, all right, I mean, no big deal. I've been in strange situations before. I can certainly handle this. And she's like, no, I'm serious. Whoever talks, if anyone says a single solitary word, they have to do the dishes. So the guy's like, honey, it's okay, my buddy. Honey, it's okay. Mi habla español. Let's go in. Let's eat. I'm not worried about your dishes. I love this bike. I love you. Let's go meet your folks and have a great time. So they walk in, and dude tells me it is a scene out of a horror film. There are dirty dishes everywhere in this fucking place. Stacked on the stairs, behind plants, on the couch, everywhere. You name it, there is a dirty dish. He couldn't even begin to count how many dirty dishes, and he is just blah, blah. But other than that, it's like the parents just ignore the fact that they got this right. So it's a crazy situation, as you can well imagine. So they proceed to the dinner table, and the mother serves a beautiful meal. I'm sure it was something like tamales, burritos, or something like that, because they were Mexican. But at any rate, that's not really important. They're germane to the story. So they sit down, and the second they sit down, poof, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, it is like a church. And all you can hear is an occasional tink of the fork hitting the plate, or tink of the spoon hitting the bowl as they're having, I think they had some kind of bisque, if I'm not mistaken. But it had tortillas in it, so don't worry. again, don't worry about that part, not specific. So anyway, so it's quiet is the point I'm trying to make here. So it's very, very quiet. No one's speaking, and he's thinking, wow, they take this doing the dishes thing to the max, right? Am I right? So the dude, my buddy, he's a little bit of a prankster. I do have to admit. He reminds me of some other people I know that are also pranksters. But he, says, you know what? I'm feeling a little horny, and let's see how far we can push this thing. So he gets up, down here, walks over to where his girlfriend is sitting and having dinner, pulls her out, bends her, in fact, over the table. Down go the pants, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He's going to town. Mom and Dad, what do? They just don't. They don't say a damn word. They just continue eating. And when my friend is telling me the story, I'm like, my jaw is literally dropping. I mean, I was like, ah. So, and he's like, yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? So the dude comes back. He's not saying a word. He finished the event without any kind of exclamation or oh God or anything, right? He got through it. Goes back, sits down, and he's got the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. I don't know that he actually, in fact, ate. No, probably not. But at any rate, he's got this grin on his face, and he is feeling pretty proud of himself. So, he's checking. He looks over to Mom, and he's like, God damn, Mom looks pretty good, you know what I'm saying? So, maybe, yeah, what the hell? So, gets up, walks over to Mom, stands her up, bends her over the table, and bada bing, bada boom, and next thing you know, he's nailing Mom. What does the girlfriend do? Nothing. What does the dad do? You guessed it, nothing. Just like nothing is happening. So he sits down and is literally on the verge of busting a gut because of holding in the laughter, not wanting to say anything. The mom resumes eating dinner, just heads down. They are not going to do these fucking dishes, if you know what I'm saying. So the guy literally is about to bust a gut, and he's thinking, this is maybe over. When all of a sudden there's this huge clap of thunder. And the first thing he thinks is, holy shit, my bike. I got to get out there. So he jumps up and he pulls the Vaseline out of his pocket. And the old man says, all right, I'll do the fucking dishes. And that's one that you can take to Sunday school and share with your friends there. So that's not really related to anything, but I just thought you'd like to know that story. Some people are going to win this week. I'm going to guess the Spankos probably lose. I'm going to think the Dirty Birds are going to lose. I hope they're not playing each other. I really should have probably looked at the schedule before I go. I think I'm playing the W's and I'm already down by 20 or some shit, so I'm probably going to lose. And let's see. And then somebody else will probably win. Hey guys, it's been great. Thanks. Have a great day. We'll talk later.